Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we have a John Doe found in Atlanta, Georgia, May 6, 1999. Estimated age 35 to 45 years old. That's an estimated age. If you have a loved one, friend, family member that went missing, please make sure they're anonymous. Please make sure that they've actually been reported missing, not just by contacting the investigators, but by making certain that the investigators have put them into NamUs, because they should be in NamUs if they're missing. And or if they're not there, please try to get them on the Charlie Project and the Doe Network, but also and try to put them in the Charlie Project and the Doe Network. He was measured 5'7" and estimated to be about 140 pounds. Fulton County, found by a man walking a dog in a wooded area. No obvious trauma. Estimated PMI just days. Not recognizable, decomposing, doesn't have a hair color, eye color, anything like that. It has his clothing. He had bifocals. So you can see the description of his bifocals. He had a blue jacket. He had a long sleeve button down shirt with a collar, plaid with brown, red, yellow, blue, and green. So here's some information with his sizes of his shoes. Timberland boots, size 9.5. And then they have, under images and documents, they have one photo of a facial reconstruction that they probably did from his skull. And there's hair on it, but I don't know if that's what his hair color would have been, or his eye color, or what it would have looked like. And mostly, that, and a lot of times when they do the facial reconstruction, it may not look exactly like them. They may look different than that, but you can see the shape of his face and other things like that. So, if you look at them and say, well, it doesn't really look like him, but it kind of does, it might end up being somebody, but it could be somebody that wasn't even reported missing. But I like to go through missing persons to see who there is that might fit the description of their estimations of height and weight and things like that, and the time that they went missing. So the first one I have was a man that went missing from South Carolina, March 6, 1999. So it's like 2 months before. He's 5'5". He's about 2 inches shorter. He was last seen in Richland, South Carolina, near his home in the Alpine Forest Mobile Home Park on Alpine Road, riding in a dark blue 1987 Chevy Astro minivan with South Carolina license tags numbered CAR 564. His television, his radio, video cassette recorder, VCR, were found to be missing from his trailer when police searched it after his disappearance. His heart medication, which he is required to take, often was left behind. Black hair, receding hairline, brown eyes. Why doesn't this say he was blind? Scars at the following locations: abdomen, chest, right leg, leopard tattoo on left arm, khaki pants. Columbia, South Carolina. Here's one little tiny picture of him. I think the other one probably is too. So let's see if I can't zoom in to make it bigger. And then I'll zoom back out. And why doesn't that say he was blind? Where is the other one about him that says he was blind? Maybe this one, the Charlie Project. This says he was missing since 1998, where the other one says 1999. And I had thought that this is probably him, even though this is African-American male. He was found in Columbia, South Carolina, age 45 to 55, estimated PMI 3 months. Height, though, is estimated to be about 5'8", and he was 5'5". The human remains were found in a wooded area near Elmwood Cemetery off Elmwood Avenue in Columbia, South Carolina. Healed nose fracture, suggesting possible facial scars. Talks about the clothing. And even though this says an African American male, when I look at his face and his face, and the way he holds his mouth, maybe that's why he reminded me so much of him. But I feel like this might be him. Even though it says African American male and he's not African American. I don't know why. I feel like maybe their tests might, because they do different tests, and sometimes I don't know if it shows a little bit. And it shows him differently in the artist rendering for some reason. So, I don't know. That's the one that I thought might be him. But I'm putting him in the video as well. It says last seen Alpine Forest Mobile Home Park, where he lived, riding in a dark blue 1987 Chevy Astro minivan, South Carolina license plate number CAR 564. Television, radio, VCR were found to be missing from his trailer. When police searched after his disappearance, heart medication, however, was left behind. Foul play is suspected. Isn't he blind? I thought, there it is right here. He's blind. Right here, it says he is blind. So, it seems like somebody robbed him and did something to him. So, this is the one that I thought maybe was him. This John Doe. And I just ran across it when I was looking for, trying to see who this John Doe might be. But I don't know if that's him. It could be somebody else. Maybe his remains haven't been found. It was just the one that reminded me of him. So we have this John Doe, and we have this missing person. And then we have Richard Borelli, missing from Caroline Beach, North Carolina. And these are pretty far away. And I would think that this John Doe would be somebody that was in Atlanta, Georgia, that went missing from Atlanta, Georgia. Even if it was somebody that was traveling by Greyhound bus, somebody that was taking a plane, staying in a motel, or a resident that lived there that went missing. I would, just assume that it's somebody that was in that area, from that area, or traveling through that area. Not somebody from far away, but these are the ones that I found. Richard Borelli, Carolina Beach, North Carolina, 49 years old, 5'6". He was last seen April 9th, 1999, spent the day with his mother, got upset when he had to return to the nursing home. He never made it back to the nursing home. Brown hair, brown eyes. Tattoo the name Rich on arm. Family is unsure of which arm. Blue jeans, green t-shirt. They don't know what happened to him. So, and then we have, this is him on the Doe Network. Richard Borelli, 49 years old, 5'6", brown hair, brown eyes. Date of birth, July 19th, 1949. Blue jeans, green t-shirt. So and it says the same things about the nursing home. He just didn't want to go back. Walter Greg Fowler, missing from Smiths Grove, Kentucky, June 24th, 1999. 44 years old, 5'8", 220 pounds. Here's a photo of him. Here's another photo. And here's another photo. And unknown circumstances, Warren County. Unknown circumstances, brown hair, beard, mustache, blue eyes. But they know what clothes he was wearing. Adidas tennis shoes, Redmond camouflage cap, gray Wildcat shirt. 1986 Chevy Astro van. License plate 900 Elm, ELM, Kentucky, blue. Did that go missing with him? And the Charlie Project said he was born 4/27/1955. Goes by the middle name Greg. Had a beard and mustache at the time he disappeared. Last seen in Bowling Green, Kentucky on the morning of June 19, 1999. His wife, Deborah Kessinger, said he told her he was going fishing at Barren River Lake along the Allen Warren County line. He never returned from his fishing trip and has never been heard from again. She searched for her husband herself and contacted family members and friends to ask about him after he didn't return home from his trip. She called the police, but they told her she had to wait 24 hours. On June 21st, she contacted a state official at Barren River Lake who offered to meet her there and help her search for him. En route to the lake while driving over the Kentucky 101 bridge, Deborah saw her husband's boat in the Barren River 2 miles downstream from the lake and pointed it out to the state worker. On June 21st, searchers found his minivan off Osborne Ford Road. Fowler had worked as a lineman at Farmers Rural Electric Cooperative for 20 years prior to his disappearance. On June 18th, the day before he was last seen, he called in sick. Authorities stated they didn't find any overnight provision in Fowler's boat or vehicle, though he was supposed to be on an overnight trip. The boat had no motor. The boat had no oars when it was found. Fowler also hadn't mentioned any plans to go fishing to his coworkers, and his family and friends said he preferred golfing and turkey hunting to fishing. The Barren River is shallow, and investigators stated they should have found his body if it had been there. In August 1999, 2 months after his disappearance, police stated they had reclassified it as a possible homicide. Deborah is a suspect in his case, but authorities believe more than one individual was involved in his death. There is a theory. Now, this is just, I'll say hearsay, or I don't know. This is just what's on the webpage that I'm reading. So there's a theory that Deborah and her son, Walter's stepson, Matt Kessinger, killed him together and disposed of his body. Deborah described the allegation as crazy and stated Mac had been raised by her parents on their farm and she didn't have a close relationship with him. Deborah and Fowler were $250,000 in debt at the time of his disappearance, and she was the beneficiary of his life insurance policy. But Deborah said she didn't know about the policy until 2008 when Fowler was declared legally dead. Deborah was convicted of arson in 2015 and sentenced to 6 years in prison. She burned down a Dollar General store, causing over $1 million in damage to cover up $1,000 worth of missing money and merchandise. She was the store's manager and committed the arson just before an audit would have exposed the losses. Deborah maintains her innocence in Fowler's case. She stated she had been working as a police informant when he disappeared, telling police about the activity of drug dealers, and suggested these dealers were involved in Fowler's disappearance. She also suggested he simply walked away, perhaps going to Montana to escape his debts and the stress of his life. She described the relationship as a usual marriage with no major problems. No charges have been filed in her case. In his case, it remains unsolved. I don't know where they got this information from, but it's on there, and it's an interesting read. Probably from, well, I'm not going to guess, but there's the investigating agency. If you have any information, please contact authorities. And another missing person was Richard Dwayne Dake from Mountain Grove, Missouri, 37 years old, missing April 20th, 1999. May 6th. 5'8", 165 pounds. Last seen April 20th at about 3:30 p.m. in Kabul, I don't know how to pronounce that, Missouri. Brown hair, brown eyes, blue jeans, shirt. There's no information about circumstances, just as he was last seen. Wow. And I don't think I found him on the Charlie Project or the Doe Network because I don't have it up. I think I was looking for them in this video. We also have Matthew Cameron, Barrows, forgive me if I'm not pronouncing that right, missing since May 7th, 1999 from Austin, Texas. That's really far away. Date of birth, September 4th, 1976. Oh, he's 6'2". That's not going to be him. I don't even know why I have him in the video, but I'm leaving him. He had his toes amputated on each of his feet and limps on occasion as a result. He may be depressed or suicidal, may have a mustache, beard, or goatee. He wears eyeglasses and he has a white patch of hair near his left ear. His nickname is Matt. He was last seen in Austin, Texas, May 7th, 1999. Disappeared under unclear circumstances and has never been heard from again. Few details are available in his case. I don't think he has a, I don't think he's on NamUs. There's no link. And then that one that I went over before was Carlo Pfaff, I don't know how to pronounce it, from South Carolina, who was blind. He was blind. It sounds like he was robbed and he went missing. And so I feel like if he was blind and he went missing, there's a good possibility he's probably, he's probably in Columbia, South Carolina, not too far. Who knows what happened or what they did. So, and that's the one, when I saw him, I looked for somebody that might be in Columbia, South Carolina, and it could be other people. This could be somebody completely different. It's probably not him, but I don't know, they reminded me of him, so I just wanted to include that one as well. So if you have any information about who this John Doe might be, please contact authorities and let them know any information that you have. Maybe you have a friend, loved one, family member that went missing, that tended to travel. Maybe they had a layover in Atlanta, Georgia, or maybe they like to travel and visit Atlanta, Georgia, or might have been traveling by car to go to Florida and went through Atlanta, Georgia, because there are places you go. A lot of times if you go to, like, from Tennessee or Kentucky, or sometimes if you go from the upper states to go to Florida for a vacation, you might, even driving, you might stop over in Atlanta and spend the night at a hotel. If you're traveling and you're flying, they have that airport in Atlanta. And so some people would go for work or business in Atlanta, but it might be somebody that lived there and they don't have. And then with the eyewear and the bifocals, maybe that would help somebody. But 1999 was a long time ago. So 25 years. And if you have any information about any of these missing people and what might have happened to them, maybe somebody's been drinking and talking over the years. And maybe they've shared information with you and you thought, oh, it couldn't be true. They were just drinking, and they told me later they were just drinking. But now you're questioning it and you're not sure, and you feel like it's hearsay. It's not like you have to testify in a trial or a court. Just let authorities have the information, let them know, let them decide what's relevant or important. Maybe you knew who their friends were, where they worked, places they ate dinner at. You could help them with some sort of a timeline or any information that you have. You just never know. Please contact authorities with any information you have on any missing person cases. And don't forget to pray for their families and their loved ones, because this is somebody's son, possibly somebody's brother, uncle, dad. They have relatives, family members that have never had closure, even if it's nieces and nephews, grandchildren. There are family members that hear about them missing or gone missing, and it saddens their heart to not know what happened to them. So I feel like these people need to have closure. And feel free to leave comments and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.